Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the Female Solution.
And another great afternoon. I'm Naima Latif, and you are watching and listening to the Female Solution Global Radio TV show. We are once again coming to you live and enjoying this opportunity to express some joy and satisfaction at the success that we are achieving as we put forth a powerful message of global peace. On this fifth Saturday, we're going to be coming to you every fifth Saturday to bring you good news about the success of a global peace organization that is sharing information and building a network of people who are committed to changing the world from the way it is to the way it should be. We say that every single day, and we've been saying it for the last 12 years because this is the mission. Where in order for the mission to be successful, it takes a repetition of a message and a movement and a mindset. We already know all of the negative things that are happening in our midst. But if we want to change from the negative to the positive, we first have to focus our attention on what we want the world to look like instead of what we don't want the world to look like. This is why we don't bring you on our shows images of women fighting and tearing off each other's weaves and all of that, because that's not what we're about. And that's not what we're encouraging. Now, there are those who that's what amuses them, and that's fine. But whatever you focus on is what you're going to get, because it's what you're creating with your own mind. So the guests and the feature stories that we bring you every day on the Female Solution Global Radio TV show are stories of people achieving greatness. Not just because they're making a lot of money, because you can make money doing all kinds of things that are inappropriate, but people who are touching lives and transforming lives with the work that they're doing and the information that they're spreading and the knowledge they're sharing and the resources they're putting forward in order to manifest the reality we want to experience. So today, we're going to kick off our fifth Saturday experience by sharing with you some of the insight about the global peace organization, Heavenly Culture, World Peace, Restoration of Light. Now, we've had a chance to introduce many of the members over the years, even share some of the interfaith meetings on our programs, and some of those who are launching what is going to be a very successful transformation of our young people through schools that are dedicated to peace education. And this peace education course is going to also be featured on our soon to be launched New Earth Homeschool Academy online. We don't need to be angry at the public school system for not teaching things. What we have the opportunity to do is create a means whereby people can learn things in their own homes if they choose, or in community groups if they choose. But with the power of the internet, we have the ability to teach that which should be known and grasped and understood and enacted And that's a whole new way of being. So, peace education is a program that was created by HWPL, the vision of its chairman, Chairman Man-Hee Lee, a Korean War veteran who has taken on the task of spreading the message of peace throughout the world by instituting programs that work and gathering people of like minds. So we've been a part of that movement for the past several years and have enjoyed the global peace gatherings of thousands and thousands and thousands of people across the world. So we're going to share with you a bit of a meeting with a few years ago. One of those enthusiastic volunteers who helps to facilitate the process of bringing people into the meetings and the movement and the gatherings and the celebrations so that we can see that the forces of peace are actually outweighing the forces of war and the forces of conflict and the forces of violence. We're winning. We just need to know it. We just need to show it. So before we bring you to South Korea for a glimpse of the Global Peace Conference, we're going to greet our global family joining us from all throughout the world.
We are global transformers, changing the world from the way it is to the way it should be. We are one. Wherever we live on this earth, we are one human family. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to extend a greeting to all the members of our family, whenever and wherever you may be listening around the world. To our family in China, Ni Hao. In India, Namaste. In Japan, Konnichiwa. In Korea, Annyeonghaseyo. In Russia, Zdravstuyte. In Germany, Guten Tag. In Poland, Dzień dobry. In France, Bonjour. In Spain, Hola. In Italy, Ciao. In Egypt, Ahlan wa sahlan. In Ghana, Akwaba. In Nigeria, Peleo. In South Africa, Sawubona. In Senegal, Nangadef. In Kenya, Jambo. In Israel, Shalom. In Pakistan, Afghanistan, Palestine, and Saudi Arabia, Assalamu alaikum. Greetings, and may peace be upon you all. Join us live on the on-air radio network called 727-731-5192. We want to talk to you.
Yes, we do want to talk to you, and we want you to talk to us too. And you can call us. The number's right there at the bottom of the screen. 727-731-5192, because we do want to talk to you. And one of the most important things we want to talk about is your role in this upcoming, ongoing peace process. What are you doing to be a part of the solution? It's easy to talk about the problem and talk about the problem and talk about the problem, but what are you doing to create a solution? Are you part of an organization that has some type of program that's either uplifting youth or removing trash from vacant lots or planting gardens or teaching about personal health care and holistic healing? And are you going into schools, or are you supporting with your money and time those who are doing the work? If all you're doing is talking about it, you might have a podcast that everybody's listening to, but all you rehash the problems, then you are the problem, because we don't need more people talking. We need people doing. And we don't need to complain and complain and complain and complain. Put forth your effort to change things. And once you do that, you're going to connect with other people who are doing likewise. We already know what the problem is. What solution are you supporting? Well, let's take a look. A few years ago, we attended a global peace conference in South Korea, and it was amazing. There were so many people around the world participating. But what we did on one of our shows, we're going to show that to you. We wanted an insight from one of the many hundreds and thousands of volunteers who give their time because they believe in the vision of HWPL, which stands for Heavenly Culture, World Peace, Restoration of Light. And that lets you know what is the goal: to create a heavenly culture of world peace and restoration of light. We're going to share a bit of that interview with you. One of our hosts was back in the States, Mama Joy, connecting us as we were there live in South Korea. And later on, we're going to bring you a live meeting today with world leaders that are implementing that Peace School project, preparing young people for empowerment in a way that puts forth the kinds of values that creates world peace. We'll share that with you. First, let us go to our very impactful interview with a young lady who has, in fact, been a dedicated volunteer with HWPL, going to South Korea months before the event and giving her time to make sure that those delegates, such as myself and others from around the world, had uh, an enjoyable experience, but also could see the commitment to this monumental vision of creating a heavenly culture, world peace, and restoration of light. That's what we're all here to do. So let's take a look at it now. Of course, we will be putting that on our YouTube channel for immediate connection, but we'll also be posting it on our Facebook page and on the Female Solution Facebook page. We want to share with you the magnificence of this event. And in addition to the 50,000 in the stadium here in Korea, another 200,000 people around the world were participating, and they had a big screen in the stadium where they brought in people from the many cities from across the world who were also gathering to participate in this global peace conference. And they all were in one accord when it comes to being committed to the efforts of world peace. And it was just absolutely amazing. So I'm here to share with you some of the insights from that. I have with me a young lady who is living in Chicago right now as a student at UIC, but she was here in Korea as part of the army of volunteers. This just is unbelievable, the amount of people and manpower and woman power that it takes to get this done. So many people that are involved, and each person, each delegate from another country had a personal assistant that helped them, escorted them, took care of their needs. And so we all have been treated like royalty. And I had an opportunity to experience what it's like to be a dignitary during this trip, escorted in, the cars that picked us up and
escorted us to the event and came back, and we were just greeted like uh, superstars. I mean, the streets were lined with people cheering as we drove past. So you'll see all that on my Facebook page. You'll see all of the glorious welcome that we received. There was a big parade coming into the stadium, people cheering, and then you had, and I don't know if you've ever seen, when you have groups of people and they have placards or pieces of cloth or whatever is of different colors, and then they make different words based on how they hold up their particular color. Well, they had that very coordinated, and so many different designs that were formed by this group of people that were on the center of the field in the stadium. And I understand they've been practicing this for 6 months. This is what Anna tells me. And our guest, Anna Jones, she has just been amazing. And I thank you so much. Because I always have to have people that keep up with my things. So she and another gentleman, they were assisting me and making sure I ate and, had meals and got to places on time and all of that. So that was just perfect. But this really has been impressive. And if anybody had any doubts that the people who are changing the world and making it a place of peace, if they had any doubt, this would remove all doubt that we are on the winning side, regardless of what you hear in the news and what you read in the papers. We're on the winning side. The world is changing. The energy has shifted toward peace, and this old way of life is on its way out. So we can be comforted in knowing that we are going to have that heaven on earth. So that's what HWPL stands for: Heavenly Culture, World Peace, Restoration of Light, and that's what we're creating.
We're on the winning side. I love that. Yes. I love it. Energy. Hearing that.
Yes.
So Anna Jones, she's your personal assistant?
Yeah, she has that. And matter of fact, there's a particular name for what you do. Tell us what that is. I think it's called the. Um,
I think they worded it as protocol.
the protocol. Yes, that's right. So she's the protocol, the person who, kind of organizes what you do so that you get to where you have to go, and make sure you know what's going on. Gave me the itinerary for the day and so forth, and arrange things. So each person, each delegate has their own protocol. So that means there had to have been 100,000 volunteers for this. I mean, mostly they're college students, but they choose to give their time for this effort. And this really, and they had now last year I was participating in the event, and when we marched into the stadium last year, they gave us balloons, helium-filled balloons that said peace. This year, the balloons were shaped like doves, and in addition to having the balloon, we had a child that came and gave it to us, and then we held the hand of the child as we walked into the stadium. So that was kind of a new symbolic twist. We're bringing in the future of peace. So that was kind of impressive. So yes, we'll be showing all of that as well. So, and Anna, maybe you can tell us a bit about how you got involved with this and how you got to be a protocol, and what kind of training you had to do all this. Was it like you'd have to apply or something? Was it like you had to sign up and then they interview you? How did that happen?
So as a student attending UIC, I had an opportunity to check out all kinds of student organizations and things like that. And as I was telling Dr. Latif earlier, that a lot of the organizations that I could have applied for was really more about my personal career development, and also to achieve my personal goals for my personal life. But when I came across HWPL, I kind of saw something that was a lot bigger than just myself, but it was a hope and a love for the humanity of overall. So I thought I wanted to be involved in it. So this is actually my second time participating, and actually my first time helping out as a protocol.
Ah.
So how it happened was that, I learned of the activities that they had planned out for this year, and I carved out a time in my schedule in the fall because I knew that this was going to be the fourth commemoration of the Warp Summit. And so I thought I signed up earlier this year that I wanted to sign up to do something. And because of my experience in I guess teaching English abroad at some point in my life, I volunteered, and then they said the task that would be great for me would be like a translating protocol. So because I don't speak Korean that well, but I understand it to a certain extent. I guess I consider myself like an intermediate Korean speaker, but English is more of my native language. So they thought that it would be a really good idea for me to help out as a protocol so that the guests who are visiting this particular event can navigate through Korea without too much problem, because Korea is largely a Korean speaking country, meaning that I mean quite a few people here also speak English as well, but for people whose main language is English, it may be a little bit difficult for them to kind of navigate around the country and also the culture as well. So my job would be to kind of serve as a bridge between like the American culture and the Korean culture, and kind of help people to maximize their experience in the work of peace and and the Korean culture, and for this organization as well. And for me, it has also been a really exciting experience as well. And yes, I learned a lot.
Oh.
Yes, yes, it is. And one of the things that really impressed me about the massive organizing efforts of the Global Peace Conference is that there you never see you, because you go places and somebody's always complaining something didn't happen, or my ride didn't come get me on time, and and then somebody's upset because I didn't get the food. That never happens. You never see anything but peace at these conferences. And that's what's so impressive, is that you really experience a heavenly culture. You really experience what it's like when nobody's mad, nobody's arguing, nobody's upset, nobody's complaining, nobody is starting a fight. I mean, you just don't see it. And this is why it's critical for us to visualize what we want, as opposed to complaining about what we don't want, because you're going to always get what you keep looking at, what you keep focusing on. And if it's something that you don't like, then you have to choose to not keep talking about it, not keep describing it, not keep uh, not keep complaining and wanting somebody to listen to your anger and venting. That's not helpful. So this is what it looks like when you choose peace as a way of life. And we want to share with you, I talked about the process of arriving and being greeted and what that felt like. So we're going to show you a little bit of that, because this really is the way people can be treated when they are valued. And so much, unfortunately, of what we experience is when we're not valued. So let's take a look at the arrival and the wonderful welcome of crowds and crowds of people there in South Korea. Stadium, and we're being escorted like dignitaries in cars as we get ready for the big ceremony here in South Korea. Being greeted as we enter the stadium. entering the stadium for the peace ceremony. Can you imagine the organizing efforts of getting those thousands and thousands and thousands of people to greet the delegates as they were driven from the airport to the stadium? And this is just mind boggling. But obviously, there are people who are dedicated to this effort and believe in this effort and are willing to demonstrate what it looks like when everybody is of one mind and is seriously committed to the goal. So if we know that we are truly on the winning side when it comes to this effort, then we can see things a little different. And we're going to share a little bit with you of that process of going into the stadium and all the delegates and being greeted by the children. We want you to take a look at this and recognize how valuable it is when you include your youth, but you also are able to share this with the world. And all of the people, as you can see, many nations of people going into. And you'll see an astounding number of people who have gathered here in South Korea to speak in one voice that we are all standing for peace. Dove symbolize. Oh, I can believe it, a child. Here we are, symbolic of the future. Yes, look at this. So we each get a balloon shaped like a dove and a child. That lets us know our future is in the hands of these innocent people, these young souls who are going to enter into a world of peace. Yes. truly amazing. So, all the way across the world, this is what is going on. And are we seeing this in America? No, our news is showing us violence and distress. And so we keep thinking that's the reality that we must accept. But it isn't. We can create our own reality. We just have to choose to do so. So we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to share with you success stories. There are many across the world who have implemented the global peace projects. One of them in particular, the Peace Education Project, in which the principles of peace are being taught in the schools. So we've got some representatives that have joined us in a global meeting of HWPL, and some of those from West Africa are giving the report on the success and yet the challenges that we must continue to face. So those of us with resources, we need to step up, because there are people who are doing the work and making things happen. And we can be more supportive and paying attention to the good instead of complaining about what we don't want. So we will be right back after this quick break, and we want you to stick and stay. Don't stray away. We're talking about achieving world peace with HWPL. We'll be bringing you success stories every fifth Saturday here on the Female Solution Global Radio TV show, because we are on the winning side, and we want you to be aware of it so that you can join us on that winning side as well. So we'll be right back after this quick break. So stay with us. Hi, I'm Naima Latif, and if you're watching this, that means you're one of the 4.6 billion people from around the world who are using an electronic device to talk to people. In these times, people are using the internet to talk to everybody. Friends, neighbors, family members, co-workers. People are on their cell phones and computers all day long. Now, if you're in business, that is great news. That means you can sell your products and services all day long and never have to leave your home. All you need is a media connection, somebody to connect you to an audience. And that's why I'm talking to you today. We produce programs, and our audience members are people who shop. They buy clothes, food, beauty supplies, cleaning supplies, home repair, transportation services, child care services. Whatever you're selling, they need to buy it. We're your media connection. Just follow this link, and tomorrow you can sit back and relax at home while your business is making you money. Yes, we want you to sit back and relax at home and make that money, because we're doing the marketing for you as we share your business with the world during our programs. The internet is such a powerful tool, but like any tool, it's only as powerful as the intention of its user. So if you are using your internet connection to tune in to the worst stories that you hear, the most violent activities, people who are creating distress, then you are physically, with your energy, adding to the problem, because you're adding to that negative energy and you are helping it to spread. So when you choose to use the internet to learn about things that will raise the consciousness of humanity, give people a chance to do positive things that are helpful, make life better, make life enjoyable, appreciate art, beauty, and wonderful things that we all enjoy experiencing. When you choose to put your energy into that, then you increase that reality. You strengthen that intention. So every single moment of every single day, you are either part of the solution or part of the problem, depending on where you are concentrating your focus and giving your energy and using your resources? What are you buying with your money? What are you doing with your time? Are you adding to the positivity or are you adding to the negativity? We're going to give you an opportunity to add to the positivity every single day. And we want you to be a part of a network of people who are choosing to use the internet to spread higher consciousness, living in a way that brings a heavenly culture. We're going to give you that opportunity. First, we want to share with you some of those who have chosen to empower the people in their community, and they have chosen to share the Peace Education Program. Now, first, we're going to bring you an introduction of one of the leaders from among the West African countries that have signed on to HWPL and putting things in motion, and there have been many. And then you'll hear a translated message from Chairman Manhealy. And then we're going to talk to you about how you can help spread the energy of peace and the energy of love and joy and cooperation every day. We're going to give you an opportunity to be a part of the winning side that's doing this every single day. And of course, we want to say Grand Rising, beautiful Bantu Knot Queen. Yeah, I got my new hairdo today. We're enjoying the show from Ohio. All right now, traveling all across the states, and we're gonna still do that girls trip overseas too. Yes, we will. So get ready for that, and we'll bring you all live coverage as we go across the world. So now, as we speak about going across the world, let's take a look at those people who met from across the world today and are sharing some of the success stories and the vision of teaching children the values that will help them create a world of peace. And we want you to be a part of that winning side too.
그 열정과 신념은 오늘 이 자리에 모인 우리 모두의 가슴 속에 깊이 새겨져 있다라고 생각합니다. 존경하는 여러분, 지금 이 순간이 우리 모두에게는 하나의 새로운 출발점입니다. 이곳 서아프리카에서 시민 주도의 평화 모델이 성공적으로 잘 잡힌다면 이는 곧 전 세계로 확산되는 희망의 불씨가 될 것입니다. 우리가 오늘 다짐하고 또 실천하는 이 모든 행동이 내일의 평화를 또 현실로 이렇게 만들어줄 거라고 믿습니다. 끝으로 HWPL은 언제나 여러분과 함께 하겠습니다. 서로의 손을 맞잡고 흔들림 없이 이 길을 함께 걸어갑시다. 감사합니다. We are one.
Distinguished guests, esteemed leaders, and fellow advocates for peace. It is with great honor that I join you today for HWPL's 9th annual commemoration of the Declaration of Peace and Cessation of War, DPCW. This occasion is a testament to the unwavering commitment of HWPL and its partners in fostering a culture of peace and collaboration. Having had the privilege of serving as Vice President of Sierra Leone, I have witnessed firsthand the challenges that conflict brings to our nation. The scars of war run deep, and rebuilding peace requires more than just treaties. It demands active engagement from all sectors of society, particularly civil society and the youth. HWPL's Legislative Peace LP program represents a transformative approach to peace building, ensuring that citizens are at the heart of the process. By creating legal and institutional foundations for peace, the LP program empowers communities to become architects of their own peaceful futures. Sierra Leone, like many other nations, has learned through experience that peace is not merely the absence of war, but the presence of justice, reconciliation, and inclusive governance. I strongly believe that initiatives like this will pave the way for sustainable development and stability in West Africa and beyond. With HWPL, I have had the privilege of working alongside dedicated individuals who share a common vision, a world free from war, where human dignity is respected, and where peace is not just a goal, but a reality. HWPL's approach to interfaith dialogue, legal frameworks, and grassroots movements is truly remarkable. It is through such comprehensive strategies that we can ensure peace is deeply rooted in our communities, so that the future of our generations inherits a world of harmony. I encourage all participants today, leaders, civil society, and youth, to take action, collaborate, and advocate for peace within your respective communities. Let us not only discuss peace, but work tirelessly to implement it in our policies, schools, and everyday lives. Together, we can transform West Africa into a model of stability, progress, and unity. We are one, and thank you very much.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this is Moses Maga, Deputy Executive Secretary for the Independent Commission for Peace and National Cohesion. These remarks, congratulatory remarks, is for HWPL. Peace is not an event, it is a process, one that must be actively cultivated through dialogue, justice, and national cohesion. As Deputy Executive Secretary for the Independent Commission for Peace and National Cohesion in Sierra Leone, I have seen how division in politics, ethnicity, has threatened the stability of our nation. But I have also seen the power of inclusive governance, mediation, and reconciliation efforts in bridging divides and restoring trust among communities. Our work at ICPNC is rooted in the belief that lasting peace can only be achieved when all voices are heard and respected, and when national identity is built on unity rather than division. This is why HWPL has ensured that peace is so relevant to our work. Institutionalizing peace is not just about preventing conflict. It is also about creating systems that foster dialogue, equity, and participation at every level in our society. In Sierra Leone, we have made great strides in strengthening national cohesion, but we also recognize that peace is fragile without continuous engagement, education, and policy reforms that reflect the needs of the people. HWPL's approach to peace building, particularly in bridging interfaith and inter-community divides, align with our mission at ICPNC to ensure that peace is not just the responsibility of government, but for every citizen. As we commemorate this occasion, we must remember that national cohesion does not happen by chance. It requires deliberate action, sustained commitment, and strong partnership. The role of civil society, community leaders, and institutions like ICPNC is crucial in ensuring that peace is embedded in our governance structure and collective consciousness. Through collaborative efforts with organizations like HWPL, we can strengthen peace mechanisms across West Africa and provide a model for sustainable national unity. Let today be a reaffirmation of our shared commitment. Let us work together to ensure that peace is not just a vision, but a lived reality for all. Let us build societies where differences do not divide us, but strengthen the fabric of our national identity. With the right structures, the right leadership, and the right partnership, we can create a future where national cohesion is not challenge, but a strength. We are one. Thank you very much.
All right. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, we have.
Yes. So one of the things that we have had an opportunity to experience is the respect given to all of the nations, all of those who have signed on to this peace initiative. And this doesn't happen all the time, especially when you're including nations from Europe, from Asia, from Africa. We know that there are often underlying issues where everybody's culture, language, religious traditions, and other differences may create conflict because of long-standing conditioning to fear people who appear to be different. You don't see that in HWPL. What this organization does on a consistent basis is to bring people who would seemingly have differences together to share their common struggles, their common goals, and their common desire to basically live in peace. So living in peace doesn't mean I need to make you be like me. I need to make you believe what I believe. I need to make you dress like I dress. I need to make you speak the language I speak. That is not peace. And as the leaders in Sierra Leone said, this peace comes when there is respect of all that you are, allowing you to be who you are. When there's justice, when there's equal opportunity and respect and regard given to all, and every nation is seen as valuable and treated fairly, and we choose to treat each other fairly. This is what brings peace. So with these goals in mind, when we reach out and have relations with other nations, we have to be aware of the conditioning that we have succumbed to look down on someone who is different, instead of respecting however they have organized their country, their culture, their resources to solve common human problems of providing food, clothing, and shelter for everyone, and being able to best utilize everybody's skills and talents. Unfortunately, America has often been the force of forcing people to conform to a standard of culture and religion that may not meet the people's needs. And we've been conditioned in our school system to create a standard of acceptability based on European, Western cultural values. That's not sustainable. That hierarchy system where some people are valued and others are not, that's not sustainable. And so that's why it's changing. That's why what we have is falling apart. It isn't going to work in the future. So rather than us trying to force our children to conform to a dying system, we must orientate them and prepare them for a system that teaches global respect for all. And this is a different way of thinking. And this is why here we are preparing to launch the New Earth Homeschool Academy online, because you can teach principles in your home, whether they're taught in public school systems or not. What we're being taught and what our children are being taught is not going to sustain the world of the future, because it's not based on respect for all. And so we want to prepare our children as these countries are preparing their children to be leaders of a new earth, one that's based on a heavenly culture of world peace and a restoration of light. So we're going to share just a few minutes of the words from the visionary who created and leads the Global Peace Organization, HWPL, Chairman Man He Lee. In just a moment. First, we're going to hear from another African leader, and then we'll hear a translated message. So, of course, listen closely. Because if we are in agreement that this is what we want, then let's start listening to those who are creating what we want instead of looking at and watching with our internet, using our free will to keep looking at people who are creating havoc. Is that really intelligent when we know that what they are producing is not helpful? And if that's the case, then let's stop going to our internet every day and looking for who's fighting and who's creating a disturbance and who got shot and robbed and stabbed and beat up and all the horrible things. We're giving our energy to what we don't want instead of empowering that which we do want. We're going to take a last quick break and come right back, and we'll be back in just a moment. So we want you to stick and stay. Don't stray away. We'll be back in just a second, so stay with us.
Hi, I'm Barbara.
I'm Cheryl.
And I'm Naima. We're three Black moms.
And in case you didn't notice the resemblance, we're also three sisters.
We're going to be coming to you every week, sharing our successes and our mistakes as we navigate our lives as moms, wives, sisters, daughters, and of course, Black women in today's world.
We'll talk about it all: race, politics, religion, economics, culture, and we'll take a look at everything from whether or not to use corporal punishment to how do you teach your children about sex.
Look for our upcoming book, Growing Up Charles. It's a personal story about our lives growing up in Maple Park on Chicago's South Side. I'm Barbara.
I'm Cheryl.
And I'm Naima. We're three Black moms. Follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Three Black Moms. And we are back, and we're going to
everyone
share with you
the fruit of this meeting. I hope that it will be very fruitful and productive. Since a long time ago, Korea has been a poor country suffering from poverty. There were many countries that have added to our burden and difficulties, but we still survive and we're still living today. As long as there's heaven, we will exist as well. What is it that we hope for? And what is it that HWPL is working for? It is achievement of peace by ending wars. For the end of war and achievement of peace, we have put in much effort. Even to the islands of Korea, and not only Korea, but across the world, I have met with leaders of different countries, at least 5 leaders per country. And whenever I met them, there was something that I never forgot. It's to establish amicable relationships, to befriend them. And as brothers and as family, we are one big family. And we have had many discussions to achieve peace across the globe. But we were not able to meet because of COVID-19. But up until then, even if it's islands, we visited different countries to work together for peace.
Yes. So that was Chairman Man-Hee Lee. And he has been traveling the globe, meeting with leaders, working together for world peace. So every 5th Saturday, we're going to share with you the successes of the global peace movement. And we want you to be a part of the process, because it's no reason why we are holding in our hands this very powerful tool of the internet and not using it to change lives. And so what we want you to do, and we're going to speak more about this, but we want you to be a part of the network of people who are sharing information. And our news network, On Air Daily News, we produce information every day, and you have a chance to be a part of that by sending your news clips, your Facebook clips, your Facebook links to news@onaireverywhere.com. And the reason for that is that we will post good news so that you can be a part of sharing things that people are doing that are positive, as opposed to the things that cause harm. We want you to be a part of the global peace effort. So instead of sending news about people hurting people, we want you to send us clips of people that are performing acts of kindness, because we want to change the trajectory of where we're going by reminding the world that there are more people doing good deeds than harmful deeds. So send those clips, those video clips, those photos to news@onaireverywhere.com. And we want to make sure that the people who are looking for news can find good news when they tune in to the On Air network, which we are enthusiastically keeping people abreast of the best of what's happening in our world. That's news@onaireverywhere.com. Well, I'm Naima Latif. Thank you so much for joining us here on The Female Solution. Join us every day. We are live 7 days a week, and we're going to be introducing you to more wonderful hosts in the days to come as we bring you good news from around the world. And until that time, we want you to continue to shine your light, and let us say thank you to our global family. See you next time. We've come to the end of our show today. If you missed any broadcasts, go to our website for the audio and video archives at www.thefemalesolution.com. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to thank all of you who participated in today's discussions. And to our global family joining us from all around the world, we say thank you. To our family in China, xie xie. India, Dhanyavad. Japan, arigato. Korea, kamsamnida. Russia, spasiba. Germany, danke. Poland, dziękuję. France, merci. Spain, gracias.
Italy, grazie. Egypt, shukran. Ghana, madasi. Nigeria, eshe. South Africa, ngiyabonga. Senegal, jareh. Kenya, asante. Israel, toda. Pakistan, shukriya. Afghanistan, tashakur. Saudi Arabia and Palestine, shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Thank you, and may peace be upon you and the mercy of God and God's blessings.